out instead. They are looking for a jungle, so that might make a lot of sense. Plus, we have seen YSS, I believe, in this matchup.
Yeah, TNZ has used it before and able to get the win.
Yeah.
Right now, Aurora, honestly, with the bans coming up from ONIC, letting go of the Harley kind of signals to me that they're still considering playing double fighters here, right? They could pick up the mid here and then just see how the options look like. In terms of the mid picks, the Vexana, I think, will do quite well against Aurora, but hey, if you want, you can even pick up a Valentina. I don't think there's a good ult to take, so that's why I still prefer the Vexana. Other than that, yeah, Vexana, you know, Vex should be okay.
Either are safe, but it's just probably a bit more safer for the Valentina if it's just survivability that you're considering in the mid lane. Because I feel like there are just so many angles to play around with if you're looking at Aurora's first 3 picks, but they lock in a Farsa. What the Farsa?
What the Farsa, indeed.
Yeah.
Was played pretty well earlier, I think.
There's a lot of burst here coming in from ONIC. So yeah, I think it's just like who has more firepower, right? Who has more damage, we will win. And now the Minotaur gets picked up as well as the Paquito. Is it Paquito jungle or Baraz jungle? Yeah, knowing Midnight, he might even throw Freya in the jungle. So we just don't entirely know the matchup here.
It's you can't tell.
I mean,
I think it's gonna be Paquito jungle though.
Just assume the worst possible matchup.
Why? But Sicky Boom played a great Paquito. Would you really force him off that if it's in? I mean,
what if TNZ's better? Didn't think that one, huh?
He could be. He could be. We do for sure know it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Barat's EXP.
Because I feel like even if you don't like win it out through the Paquito, the Freya is still gonna do a relatively decent job. Is it the Lapu gold or an Esme gold? Lapu gold!
Well, again, like this is why they don't ban out the Harley, because they're like, yeah, you know what? You want to fight fire with fire? Well, we got Suns as well as Kyrie coming in with the Nolan as well as Farsa. That's a lot of burst damage.
It's a lot of team fight. It's a team fight
it's what the Farsa.
What the Farsa. And the AoEs too. Minotaur and Belleric. Just imagine what could happen when it comes to the team fights.
Siggy Boom will take the Freya in gold. Lunar will be on the Barats as well. It'll be a Paquito jungle from TNZ. Oh man, game 3 could be where things start to shift for 2 regions desperately fighting for a chance at the semifinal. The bid is on the line. Best of 5, game 3. Send it back to Naisu and Gideon.
The world has demanded for bloodshed, and today we are going to get here at game number 3. This is going to be spicy because both compositions want to get into your face. They all want to do one thing and find that first blood as we jump right into it. Aurora, for those of you tuning in, is going to be on blue side, facing up against ONIC on the red.
Yep. I like that how they went through this draft. Whoa, Sans. Okay, concussive blast and that little jump through from Pagu. Enough damage to send him back. He doesn't burn the Purify at least.
At the very least. Here, but at least Pagu now gets to walk into enemy territory for free, and not to mention they're playing on their strong side. Lunar already generating a lead of his own, and Pagu takes like no damage.
Whoa!
Dead.
Holy moly. I think, you know, that is not what I was expecting that early on. First blood.
And all of that, why? Because, unfortunately for Sans, he just took too much damage. And now they're going to start pressing their lead to the opposite side. This is the early game that Aurora is most well known for. And now that TNZ is on this Paquito, and he's already level 3, he does some real damage.
Oh man, they're not letting up too. Again, playing around this pressure that Aurora Gaming has already secured themselves in the first couple minutes of the game. Trying to slow down Kyrie here a bit, but I think ONIC can go ahead and kind of readjust from this. Maybe even potentially. I mean, there's still 30 seconds for that turtle to come up. They can just kind of let that go if they have to, but knowing ONIC, they probably won't just give it up for free, even despite the pressure they're feeling this early on.
Yeah, absolutely not. They need to contest for this. I mean, this really depends on whether Sans actually hits level 4, right? Because he's the secondary win condition in this early game next to Kyrie. And even as we see this game progress, because of that early recall and the control we're seeing from Aurora, now Kyrie is like, man, this early game might not be in my hands.
Yeah, now it's Kyrie asking for the green camp control, man. You know, trying to protect these right now as Aurora doesn't let up. They do get the retribution out, though, so I guess that is going to be the decision by ONIC, especially since Kyrie's on level 4. Let's just give up this first turtle, give it to Aurora. They've won it by just how much pressure they put on. Oh, a big slam through into the wall. Loopy gone after Daytona's welcome. Keyboy could be next here. He's just going to be zoned out. Nope, the 1-2 punch comes through and Lunar picks up a kill.
the autopilot here. Let's not forget that Aurora just seems to be more well-connected overall, and it seems like ONIC, they needed to regroup, but unfortunately Lukpi just took the wrong path and did not want to commit his ult. I think moments like that gets really, really difficult for ONIC. Now, Sigaboom, he's more than happy. He unfortunately is in the losing matchup, but he doesn't mind as long as he's not losing out on gold or EXP. KELRA can try and lock this lane for as long as he wants, but if we do see that Sigaboom's rotating consistently, he should be able to get mid waves as well.
Yeah, and as you just saw, that's such a good kind of like a counter that Pagu has against that feathered airstrike, obviously with the Minotaur, you know, and if it's, once he has the Flask of the Oasis and it kind of helps buff up that sustainability that comes with that motivational Aurora, you can then just kind of follow up with the mini jump, but then the ultimate, right, that he has that it just can set things up and stop ONIC's main game plan, which is playing around this Farsa's damage kit into a Rathodryad, into setting things up for the Nolan on Kyrie to follow through. We've seen the burst damage before, but even on the other side, the counter to that is Tienzi. This Paquito jungle, which most of us have seen in the gold lane. Hold on, Lunar, okay, he's gonna try to get away. Feathered airstrike dropped down, but he's tanky enough to survive it. Just with the Daytona's welcome.
Didn't seem like the most optimal choice overall. I get it if Lunar didn't have the stacks, but once he builds up on those stacks, he's actually comparable to like 1.5 of Lapu, right?
Yeah.
I think that should be the ratios that should be in their head. I think they were assuming that Kyrie was going to do a little bit more damage, but he's already 2 levels down, right? He's basically the same level as Lukpi, and even Lukpi knows for a fact that he can't chunk Lunar for more than half of his HP, and even then, we're asking for a lot. Overall, this has been a really great start for Aurora as they've controlled the entire bottom side, and it's unlucky that it spawns back down to the bottom side once more.
Yeah, right now, Aurora Gaming is basically just kind of coasting on through this early portion of the game. Second turtle's going to be up here, though, so we'll see if this time ONIC wants to possibly fight both mid laners, picking up the glowing wands here. Again, this Eudora been such a mainstay in the meta currently, and you see why. You know, the multiple stuns that you can kind of dish out, the damage, the poke that you can do, that burst on such a kind of low cooldown is a problem. Tienzi also picking up a Sky Piercer now on that jungle Paquito. Turtle's up.
I don't think they can do this here. They're thinking about it, but he's leveled down onto Tienzi, and I'm pretty sure that Tienzi can just hold on to that champion stance.
Okay. Flicker forward. They're going to force this fight. KELRA on Sigaboom, though. Sigaboom trying to get away. Meanwhile, Lunar's the one to fall. The team fight's going all wrong for Aurora. Sands. There's the what the Farsa. 2 kills now, double. And that's going to be a turtle for ONIC.
A really nice play. A great interception coming in from ONIC here, making sure that at least they're dropping down their abilities on the right targets. Like, Lunar set it up pretty nicely. However, unless Tienzi finds that trade onto Kyrie or even Sans, then it's just not worth the time. Oh, denial!
Oh, goodbye. Good punish there, because I was going to say, Kyrie could not get away with that after everything ONIC did, but mind you, that whole interaction has now stopped that gold lead that was building for Aurora Gaming. It was about 2,000. That's been pretty much dealt with. KELRA won't get this turret just yet, but he does do quite a bit of damage to it. Meanwhile, they got the bottom turret traded out, so ONIC now opening up the map a little bit here.
KELRA's doing a really good job. Like, first turtle, okay, Sigaboom walks out of it, you notice that he's only level 3, and that's when you know, like, okay, sure, he probably doesn't need to be there, but at the same time, you never really know what's going through Aurora's mind, especially what they're willing to risk. And I think that's the problem that ONIC has been facing these past couple of games. They're not 100% sure whether Aurora is willing to die for certain moments in these games to get a little bit more later on. But now that the Feather Airstrike has been used early, they are making the statement, you know what? As long as Sigaboom doesn't scale, Tienzi will eventually fall off.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, too, that I guess the downside... Oh, hold on. KELRA, he wants this turret. Aurora Gaming wants KELRA. Falling Star Moon, a bit of a burst of damage to KELRA. Be able to survive. Is there going to be a counter punch here from ONIC? They just make sure KELRA survives. They back up. Hold on. Daytona's welcome. Right on cue.
Nice.
Into 2. Lunar now going to be in trouble. The burst comes through. And Kyrie will pick up a kill. I didn't know if Aurora Gaming was going to continue to fight, but they decided to go for it.
They made a mistake there for sure. KELRA played it perfectly, using his Purify to ensure that they don't find the one-shot and sets it up for something more dangerous down the line. This is what I'm talking about. This is a game of boxing here. Let's look at the replay one more time, because as soon as Keyboy, this looked like a very good punish from Aurora until Lutpi says, you know what? As long as the damage dealer can actually go for their full combo, which they know that Rosa doesn't have, this should be a free pick on to Lunar. And they know for a fact that Bravest Fighter, it's on a short cooldown, so they can just drag this out and wait until Lutpi has it. Aurora trying to punish.
Lunar needs the stacks. Daytona's welcome, already used. Fighting off the turret. Pagu jumping in. Minoy and Fury to knock up 3. Keyboy's gone. But a feathered airstrike comes down from Sans. And now, Lutpi flickering forward. Trying to zone out Tenzi. He's swinging around here. He's going to fight off Sigiboom. This is a fight all gone wrong right now for ONIC. The 1-2 from TNZ. And there's again, fighting for the turtle. Kyrie trying to find space, but Rosa comes in with the stun. Turtle secured by Aurora, and Kyrie goes down as well. KELRA could be next. Everybody's here to clean them up, and KELRA falls. It all falls apart for ONIC.
Oh no. Worst case scenario for ONIC. Aurora able to find the lead back again, and worst yet, they're able to take out a majority of the members of ONIC, pulling themselves to the lead that they had before. Now, just an extra 400 gold on top of it, and TNZ is probably at his strongest at this point. Walking to take away these green camps. Don't worry, Pagu, nobody's mad at you this time, but let's look at the items, because we're at a dangerous state. They're looking to make sure that TNZ is strong enough to one-shot Sans at every point of the game, but TNZ, keep in mind, that's solely based on the Sky Piercer.
Man, TNZ has done an amazing job just kind of farming up here. You know, yes, he's got 4 kills, but even with that Sky Piercer, and you see the gold lead that he's had, and a lot of that is supplemented because of the way that Aurora Gaming has played the map, you know, from the start to up to now at that 9-minute mark, which will set themselves up for a good Lord take. But ONIC has showed us that they're willing to fight. A lot of these team fights are kind of weird the way they play out, right? Because it's either going to be started up by Lunar. Oh, there's some good burst coming through. Divine Glaive was picked up recently by Rosa, but either Lunar was started up, or ONIC can kind of go ahead and choose to start things up. The downside of the Belric having the Revitalize is obviously you can't surprise anyone with that flicker combination we're used to seeing. So it's got to come from someone else, and mostly it's been from Lutpi flickering forward, trying to set up, or trying to just keep things split up in these team fights. And that's why they're so finicky with the way they play it out.
And that's why I say this is like a boxing match, right? As much as you want to throw your lead hand out with a big haymaker, you also have to keep in mind that Aurora could be throwing their own haymaker. Wait a second, Keyboy!
Keyboy, what's he doing? He's gonna get eaten up here. Rosa's gone though. KELRA now splitting up the fight. There's a stun right on the mark. Minoy and Fury knock him in the air. Sans in trouble though. Can't get away from Sigiboom. And now in the Valkyrie form, he's going to be splitting up Kyrie and Lutpi from the fight while Keyboy's got nowhere to go. A proc on the Sky Piercer. Looking to clean up more under the tier 2 tower. A double for TNZ. More stacks for this Paquito. And now they take down the tier 2 turret, KELRA. He's tanky enough. He should be fine. He'll just clear out the waves.
Yeah, he is not worried at all, but the rest of his team does not have that same grace. And Sigiboom has been playing an amazing Freya, a losing matchup, and yet watch this, right? As they were playing this fight, they recognize, hey, no feathered airstrike. They also lost the Wrath of the Dryads, and that's when they decided to throw everything. Even Sans recognizing, hey, I gotta use the Purify to get away from a flicker and rage charge coming in from Pagu, but it doesn't matter when Sigiboom has stuck on to the rest of your team, cutting you down one by one with no way to stop you. The lack of CC is going to be a huge issue.
Oh, hold on. Daytona's welcome use on live cam. KELRA going to be in trouble again. Minoy and Fury knocking him in the air. Keyboy can't get away. Once again, Sigiboom leading the charge of the Valkyrie form. A big stun comes through from Lutpi though. Able to stop him in their tracks, but he gets dropped back by the Rockets. But ONIC, they want to fight back. Kyrie trying to get away with Lunar. Not enough damage on the stomp there, that auto attack. Not going to be able to take out Kyrie, but man, what a fight in the jungle.
This is a beautiful game here. Despite being 5.6k ahead, Aurora lose out on Sigiboom in comparison to Keyboy. An upward trade for ONIC, but the economic damage is not done just yet. Another structure falls in the favor of Aurora. Another buff taken away from Kyrie. He's struggling this game. He's 1-4-4, and every single person he wants to go for the kill has some form of damage reduction, has some form of anti-CC, or worse yet, just raw sustainability.
Yep, really good play there from ONIC because of the fact that they took out Sigaboom in the last fight. They pretty much alleviate that damage that that Lord push would have done. Again, you're just seeing, despite being down these thousands of gold, ONIC somehow is still able to actually go toe-to-toe in the team fight against Aurora Gaming here. And now for them, again, they have to look at what's their best angle? What's the best attack plan here for them? And especially when it comes to the jungle, because Aurora Gaming has not let up on this as they continuously try to take these buffs. Again, Daytona's welcome, throwing him into the wall. Keyboy, it's going to be, again, the focus. A feathered airstrike to follow through.
Oh.
And now Sigaboom on the back line. He's just everywhere. Sam's got nowhere to go. Forget the turret, forget everyone else. Aurora Gaming will just go for this fight, tossing everyone around. And they just go full-on wipeout against ONIC. And that's going to get Aurora Gaming this game under their belt, taking the series 2-1.
The one extra detail is what makes Sigaboom one of the best Freyas here in this competition. When he fights, he's already looking ahead of the map thinking, you know what, I can't 1v5, but if there's just enough minions, I will be able to sustain through the damage with my Descent of the